It's Wednesday, February 24th, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, we talk to a Bahamian about the recent cold spell in Texas. Keisha goes vegan. And the Bahamas with a chance to get more exposure in the NFL. So let's start the morning off right. Work hard in silence, let success make the noise. Good morning and welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm a sidekick, Charles Fisher. Good morning.
Fisher, it looks like you were looking through my window this morning. We're dressed alike this morning.
When I woke up this morning, I say, I wonder what LaDawn colors will be today. And through the form, I was matching right. You look very nice. You look very dapper this morning. I'm sure you enjoyed. You use these big Webster dictionary. Words around me,
You got on your tie, your jacket. You got to put on another, like a piece underneath to have your three-piece on. You look very, very nice this morning. I'm impressed. Look very nice this morning. I know that you did a story, I guess before we go to weather, I know you did a story in Texas. What's actually happening?
We know they had some bad, real wicked weather down there in Texas. Lights off, we had a few deaths, water pipes bursting. We have a lot of Bahamians living in Texas, so we reached out to one of them to find out how they were adapting to that type of weather. First time in a long time that Texas got those freezing temperatures. Wow. So we spoke to her, and that is coming up later on in the news in this morning edition. I know Charlie did face to face yesterday. What was that like for you? Because I know that's in the news coming up. She didn't talk much about it. She didn't talk about it. She was just happy to be back in that atmosphere. I know her mommy was happy because this virtual learning and homeschooling, giving these parents these grays. So you're getting gray on.
I got a
So you're also matching your gray with your outfit.
I'm getting up there. I don't have as much gray that you have, but yeah.
You and I share the same corner, the same desk. I think you just try. You look and you see how I work, and you just try to be as much as me as possible.
Yeah, I try to be more, little flamboyant.
I don't blame you.
So I know the weather is pretty good outside.
The weather's pretty good. You're staying on the outside. The coolest it's been this time of the morning so far for the week. We're at 68 degrees under partly sunny skies. Winds have also dropped off out of the north at 2 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the extended forecast. Daytime highs for the next 7 days in the low 80s, overnight lows in the 70s.
Let's take a look now at stories making news headlines. A police-involved shooting taking place just before 10 o'clock last evening. It took place in the area of the Old Dawkins Meat Mart, East Street North off Cordo Avenue. ACP Solomon Cash was on the scene.
The vehicle came through one of the police checkpoints at Wolf Road and East Street at a high rate of speed. The officers engaged that vehicle. Subsequently, the vehicle continued traveling south along East Street and high rate of speed. The officers engaged their beacon lights. They signaled to the vehicle to stop. Eventually, the vehicle came to a stop here at this location. When the officers approached the vehicle, the driver came from the vehicle holding a weapon in his hand. The officers at the time produced their service pistols, and they engaged that suspect, fatally wounding him. As a result, the Her Majesty's acting coroner was summoned to the scene and was briefed as to the circumstances surrounding this incident. From this point, we will turn the investigation over to the coroner for further inquest.
Lanisha Roll joining the list of cabinet ministers who've resigned from the governing Free National Movement administration, a move the cabinet office confirmed in a release on Tuesday. The release indicated that certain matters have been brought to the attention of the Prime Minister that are now under investigation. Roll was the first and only female member of the Minister cabinet, previously serving as Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, and then as Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. Before the weekly cabinet meeting, there was reaction to the resignation.
In any cabinet, you're going to see resignations. In any cabinet, not everyone is going to make the full 5-year term. But this cabinet will be judged on the basis of what we have done. There's going to be a second term as Prime Minister.
She is a member of now a former member of our team, a member still of the parliamentary team, of course. The best wishes I have for her.
One thing that you've seen with the minister administration, that he has called on his ministers to account, and you all know the circumstances, and some ministers have resigned, and they remain committed to the party. You know, some persons will run again, and both parties are going through. Some persons will not run again.
According to the statement from the Cabinet Office, the Prime Minister has advised the Governor General to appoint the Honorable Iram Lewis as the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. Minister Lewis will demit his post as Minister of State in the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness, Management and Reconstruction, which remains under the ministerial portfolio of the Prime Minister. Face-to-face instruction at most public schools in the capital resumed on Tuesday. Since the COVID pandemic, E.P. Roberts had only opened once over the Christmas break, with students returning to take exams. Principal Manisa Pratt is optimistic of a repeat smooth face-to-face transition this time around.
We were privileged to welcome back our 2nd, 4th, and 5th graders. The biggest challenge we would have would be with the remote learning, because we still have a number of children who are unable to access the virtual learning platform due to various reasons, such as no Wi-Fi access at home, no electricity in some cases. And so for those children, we would have to prepare hard copies of work for their parents to come and collect for them.
Health officials not taking any chances in recommending schools reopen across this country. What's comforting is that Director of the National HIV and AIDS Program and COVID-19 Task Force member Dr. Nakia Forbes says the COVID wave is flattening.
The information we have is that schools do not cause outbreaks of COVID-19 in the community based upon our global understanding. What they do is they reflect what's happening with COVID-19 in the community. If you have, hypothetically I'm saying, if you have a large number of cases in the community and community spread, that will be something that's happening in schools. If you have the situation under control in country, that can be something, it can be under control in schools.
Ministry of Health's latest COVID-19 release showing another 6 infections, all out of New Providence. Making up the group 4 males and 2 females, the latest numbers also reflect that 3 of the newly infected cases have a history of travel within 14 days. Hospitalizations remain unchanged at 15, with 14 of them moderately ill, and the one in the intensive care unit. We're now up to 7,231 recoveries. 66,696 tests have been administered.
Meantime, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, is expected to debate the mid-year budget at 10 o'clock this morning from the House of Assembly.
And to find out how your morning commute will be, we throw it out to Lloyd Allen out on the streets.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Well, good morning again, LaDon and Fisher, and good morning to the rest of the Bahamas. It's a great start to your Wednesday morning. It's Hump Wednesday, and of course, we're giving you your first look at traffic, and this one coming in from the intersection of the Western Road and John F. Kennedy Drive. Now, it's a lot different from those other areas we normally go. It's not as busy when it comes to those traffic heading into the downtown area. More of the traffic in this area heads into that Lyford Key and Old Fort Bay area. But again, no major obstructions, and so it should be fine for those persons making that commute into this area. Also on the way here this morning, we observed in the area of Blake Road and West Bay Street, there is some work going on. And so, of course, persons making that commute beyond that area and through that area, you should be aware that there is work going on, and it may add some delay to your morning commute. In other areas around the capital, like the downtown area, as well as Village Road and Eastern New Providence, those areas are nice and smooth when it comes to traffic. No reported outages when it comes to those traffic lights. And so, of course, those persons taking those drives to work and to those other destinations should be able to do so nice and smoothly. LaDon and Fisher.
Thanks a lot, Lloyd. And when we come back, a Bahamian living in Texas talks about effects the unusual winter weather has had. So keep it locked.
First, it's more than just our name, more than just our achievements. It's our nature, and it's where we put our customers. At Bahamas First, we've refreshed our look, but our nature remains the same. We design insurance solutions that protect our customers from life's uncertainties, whatever they may be. We equip you for the future so that you can recover stronger. Bahamas First, what's first for you comes first for us.
Last week's record-shattering winter storm in Texas left many without power and water for several days. Many Bahamians called the state home, and one of those is Valencia Turner, who spoke with the Morning Edition about her experience.
It's a bit different and a bit the same with hurricanes because you kind of have a process, you make sure everything in the house is shored up. You make sure that you're leaving the faucets to leak a bit so things don't freeze. You go get all your food and all things like that. It's a bit different just because most of the state doesn't get weather like this really ever, at least the first time in my lifetime. And so we really didn't have a process to be able to kind of handle things with like clearing the roads and having places for people to go when power went out and when like the pipes were bursting, people didn't have their water. So I would say that it's a bit different just because we didn't really have a process to be able to kind of handle the things that I would say, the Bahamas has for a hurricane, and even South Texas really has for hurricanes because they get them quite frequently. We, again, got really lucky with most of our power being on the entire time and just being able to make sure that we had everything that we needed. So we kind of had a smooth way of going, but it was a lot of people kind of just helping each other and finding water and allowing people to come over to shower if you still had water, or just hang out to warm up if you still had heat.
So how is Turner and her family coping now?
Last week was definitely a bit of a struggle. Thankfully for us, the only lasting issues we really have are some minor repairs with our water. But there are a lot of people who were without power and in freezing temperatures for roughly around 4 days. I know that the well wishes and the prayers are definitely appreciated. If you've got any sort of family up this way, definitely check on them. But your support going forward as we try to deal with, the repercussions of the sort of fallout that we had is appreciated.
Inducted. Commanding Officer for the RBDF Southern Command, Captain Glenn McPhee, recently conducted a tour of Greater Nagua. During the tour, Captain McPhee inspected the base facility, conducted sexual harassment awareness training for the deployment team, paid courtesy calls on Island Administrator Marlon Leary, and Officer in Charge Superintendent Walter Henderson visited the Nagua All-Age School, toured the Bahamas Maritime Surveillance System, and joined a routine patrol. As he concluded his tour, Captain McPhee noted that the Southern Command's mission is to ensure continuity of administration operations and logistical support for all missions originating and transiting through or around the Southern Bahamas. As we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On February 24th, 1955, music legend George Simonette won new acclaim when Newsweek magazine published an article featuring the famous calypso singer. Also on February 24, 1969, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Dr. Michael Ramsey, was in the Bahamas. During his 3-day visit, the Archbishop called for Christian unity.
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocols. Every business establishment must have distance markers 6 feet apart, indicating where each customer must stand at check-in points. Have a hand sanitizing station visible at the entrance of the store for all customers to sanitize their hands before entering the store. I am Ambassador Latario Farrington of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be yours.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Well, it's the middle of the week and it's time to see what's on Keishla Adderley's plate.
transform a traditional vegetable meal into something scrumptious, delicious, and I promise even your picky eaters will love it.
Many may dismiss this as impossible, but nutritionist and coach Shay King says, don't knock it till you try it. On the day we visited her, she was preparing her version of a cheesy bacon-topped baked sweet potato. It's just a sweet potato, eggplant, and carrots.
This is about a cup of sweet potato. We're going to add that to our blender. And then we have a half a cup of carrots. These carrots are actually boiled with a little bit of gray salt. We're adding that into our blender. And then we're adding in nutritional yeast. This is about a quarter cup of nutritional yeast.
Into the food processor it goes. Spices like curry and onion powder compound the flavor for this plant-based condiment.
If you're introducing someone to this diet for the first time, you have to transform the food, make it inviting, use your spices, use your herbs. I know we're accustomed to salt, black pepper, and lemon, but you have to think outside of the box. Y'all want to see cheese? That's what I'm talking about, cheese. And so we just add the cheese.
It looks like the real thing to me.
This same entire mixture here, we can actually keep this to make our cheese solid if we want. If we want like Velveeta type cheese or pourable cheese, all we do is we just add more water to it.
Speaking of add-ons, who loves bacon? Straight out of the dehydrator, this dried eggplant does the trick.
Like, who are the non-bacon lovers?
Some may take to it right away, others may take a while. But King says either way, the takeaway is a win for good health.
8 out of 10 persons that are sick, obese, and unhealthy, we don't often think about transforming our weight through food and nutrition. And even if you're not on a diet and we just start to transition the way that you eat, you can actually start to release weight naturally, because one of the biggest and main factor and benefits is your body's receiving more nutrients. And once the body does that, the body starts to act and take out all of the imbalances and regulate itself. Potato.
The double stuffed cheese bacon potato.
Mm-hmm.
That's even better than
There you go.
the average baked potato.
Thank you.
It's tasty.
Shay always has the good food over there.
I don't know if I can do it, LaDonna. A vegan. I love my eat now. I remember when I was an athlete, I had a 6-pack. You get to see the boom, boom, boom. But now all you see is a barrel. This is the barrel.
You eat too much, I guess.
Yeah, I just love food.
So what do you cook? So what all do you cook for your family?
I cook everything. And I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to give it out to the ladies and the gents here in the newsroom, because I know you guys like to go and buy food.
Yeah,
you like to buy food.
We love our stomachs.
Yeah, I never see y'all say, oh, I cook this, I cook that. So I'm going to write a book, and then I'm going to show you all the recipes, and it's going to be a bestseller. So look forward to that. That's your Christmas present.
Oh, gosh.
You had a good Valentine present,
Yeah.
now you're going to have a good Christmas present.
I think Teron is going to cook us breakfast probably tomorrow or Friday. He's going to cook us breakfast, so we got to hold him to that.
What, tuna and grits or egg and
corned
grits?
beef and white rice.
Well, something like that.
It's time to start planning for the weekend ahead. Well, the Morning Edition searched high and low for the friendly outings designed to offer some fun and safety with those precious few hours. Here's Lloyd Allen.
Saturdays are becoming a time for socializing again, as places like Tin Furl offer locals a much-needed destination for food, fun, and family. This past Saturday marks the second weekend that the team of local vendors assembled at the Old Fields parking lot, Gladstone Road, doing what they do best, servicing their faithful customers, like Monet at KKM Gyros.
Man, business is beautiful. Exposure, everything is beautiful. It's a family setting. It's beautiful. We love it.
Island Pops also sharing optimism despite challenges with sporadic rain over the weekend.
We've diversified our products by including a complete line of pouches, different fun and exciting drinks, not the ordinary drink that you find every day when you go to the bar or to a restaurant. Our drinks bring a whole lot of fun. Just by looking at the names, you'll get excited.
And if that's not your flavor, try an all-natural beverage from Nad's Lemon Burst.
I make lemonades. My lemonades are bursting with flavors. It's fused with real fruits. I do smooth carrot and peanut juice and create some things myself, like a carrot mango and a carrot papaya.
Even the customers say the experience at the pop-up is like none other and keeps them coming back.
I really like the vibe, the diversity of the tents in the booth, and I'll definitely be back.
So they're consistent, the service is good, and the food is on point 100% of the time.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Consistency is what I like. It's always consistent.
The vendors say as developing small businesses, they look forward every weekend to hearing the feedback and use it to become better.
Most persons ask for the lamb, but we get that chicken and shrimp combo. That's off the chains, man. You gotta try that.
Our popular drinks are liquid marijuana, the pick me up, lick me down, the red dragon. We also have drinks for kids.
So people love jerk, and we offer something that most people would say is kind of unique, which is cheese special sauce. The first time I came here was last week, and things was just booming from then.
And organizers say they are pleased with the response and look forward to continued growth. So if you're open to a family-friendly event that's sure to reignite your drive to get out and about on the weekend, 10th Furrow Gladstone Road has got you covered. They've even got a band to keep you jumping.
And when we come back, a young Bahamian has his eyes set on playing in the NFL, so keep it locked.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Bahamians will have a keen interest in the NFL draft this year, April 29th through May 1st in Cleveland. University of Charleston wide receiver Michael Strawn, a native of Grand Bahama, turned heads this season and was recently a guest on The Bolt, the Los Angeles Chargers podcast.
I'm an easygoing person. Most people don't know I'm from the Bahamas. Born and raised, came over, finished school in the United States. From there I got my scholarship to the University of Charleston. And I was able to, use that platform to be here in the position that I am today. I wanted to run for my country. That's always been a goal for me. Growing up, I felt like, it was doable.
Strawn, get this, holds both the indoor and outdoor school record in the 40 meters, 47.99 and 47.36 respectively.
In that 400, I actually ran a 47.3. I know the time shows up different online, but yeah, I've got to run the 400 quite a bit. But yeah, it's awesome, man. Being a football player, but also having the opportunity to also run track. That's big for me. And the reason why I did track growing up too is also to help me with the speed for football. And I always wanted to keep that tradition going from high school straight to college. Because I knew this time would come, and speed would be a big thing for me. So track has always been a background, a backstone for me.
This season alone, he set UC records in receiving yards, 1,319, receiving touchdowns 19, and receptions 78. The 6'5", 225-pounder stock has been rising up the draft board with a little over 2 months away. In addition to single-season records, he also has single-game records, 13, receiving yards, 207, and also ranks in the top 5 in Charleston receiving yards, reception, and was a conference All-American and first-team region, having only played there for 3 years and starting 2.
I'm definitely the best in the draft, best receiver coming up. I know that for a fact. It's just with me knowing what I can do, and with me knowing, that whatever team picks me up, I'll be under the best system. I'll be, with the best coaches. They'll be able to, turn me into a receiver that, that's even better than what I am now. So I know with all of that going for me, I'm the best in this draft class, 100%.
As for his interview with the Chargers,
it was good speaking with the team. Got along well. We spoke more about background stuff. We had a good talk about that, and I was letting them know when my pro day and stuff like that would be. So, it was a really good talk with the team. I could fit, well with anybody, any system. Going based off, what my production. Wherever I go, I want to be productive. Add value. So that's where I see myself.
On the other side of the break, we go inside a barbershop operated primarily by women.
Explore the world of agriculture with us. Join me, your host, Carla Palmer, for continued adventures in agriculture and the marine environment as we head into Season 2 of the program, Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now, moving to a new date and time, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m., right here on the ZNS Television Network.
When you think of a hairdresser, your mind goes on a woman. When you think of a barber, it goes on a male. Well, this story should have you thinking otherwise.
Don't let the name mislead you. The alpha male tends to assume the dominant role, but this barbershop is dominated by females.
Anyone knows what a man should look like is a woman. And so, we pay attention to details, so you groom them according to, what they should be, what they should look like.
Deborah Miller is the proprietor who started the business some 13 years ago.
Wanted to do something else to subsidize, to help to sustain my family. And I thought about upholstery and barbering. Barbering was the quickest turnaround, so I did barbering because I like the male man. I like grooming the male man.
Her daughter Courtney also making men look good.
My mom encouraged me to get into barbering. She was a barber for maybe 13 years before and she always said it was a good trade to have, so that's how I got into it. I've been barbering for 7 years.
It's a family affair as Deborah's daughter-in-law, Daphne, also holds the blade. She's been doing this now for 2 years.
When I started to go to BTV, I used to do office administration. And working for people was like, no. And it's like, for me to do office administration, I'd have to work for people again. So I said, you know what, let me just do barbering. And if I decide to go back to BTVI to do office administration, I could always fix my schedule my own way. So that's how I become a barber.
I'm used to a male barber. This is something I have to think about.
A lot of them come, they say, oh, I don't want a Delilah cut my hair. But my name isn't Delilah, I'm Asha. So have a seat and I'll convince you why you should stay. It's a unique dynamic because I don't feel like a male would survive in this in this store. Our guys are used to females now. They do not want males to cut their hair.
One of those is Takori Bar. A little over 2 years later, he's still coming back.
Someone recommended this barbershop to me, and from the first cut, I never tried or went anywhere else. It was just that good. She knows just what to do. 2.5 years. I don't have to say nothing. She knows when I come, what I come for, what I like, what I don't like. Once or twice I was a test. She tried things and it worked out well. She's very good.
It's normally men talking barbershop, but with these women cutting their hair now, does that work out?
We talk every talk. We talk. Well, you won't get too much sports talk out of us, but we talk about life and relationships and just everything that comes along with it.
Also, these machines look a bit girly.
These are our tools. So we're women. We use feminine looking tools. Okay? We pick girly colors, but it is about the man.
3 women in one place? That calls for drama.
We have fun. We know how to get along. If we say, let's say example, if my mother-in-law says some other way and that I don't like, I would say, Mom, that ain't right. Or if she says something, I'll be like, you know how to work around it. You don't have to have attitude.
And how has business been?
Yes, we went through the pandemic like everyone else, but the Alpha Male Barbershop, we have clients that are very, very loyal.
So that was a great story. I'm enjoying the fact that you are highlighting women that are doing men jobs. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good
I
story.
think I'm going to try that store. I like some men, even, we had some conversation.
Yeah.
A woman is not supposed to cut a man here. I don't know where they get that from, but I'm going to
It's
try.
out of the Bible, perhaps. I was told it's out of the Bible, somewhere in the Bible.
I know some of us call and say, yeah, where's that store? They just want to go in there for the atmosphere and the nice-looking young ladies.
And coming up live at 5, Amazon
knows live at 5. He'll be all over the place, giving you all the young people, the viewers, something to watch, and then Makush Lapin at 7 o'clock. So make sure to tune in for that.
And that's a wrap for us this morning. For the entire team, I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm not forgetting my name this morning. I'm Charles Fisher.
Have a great morning, everyone.
Mama don't like the reggae,